What is going on, fellas? Lady fellas, welcome back to Just Nuts Guys. Today, I'm doing a video I don't usually do. I mean, I do it few and far between. But pretty much I'm talking about the things I'm most excited for coming out of the set that comes out 6 days from now. Next Friday, officially, it'll be dropping. And people are doing sneak peek yesterday and today, I believe. So, there's already some stuff coming out about this set, real ratios and all that stuff. That's not really what I'm focusing on. Today, I just want to focus on the 10 things I am most excited for out of this set. So, as that kind of includes, this is all opinion, right? So this is all just the stuff that me personally am excited for out of this set. So feel free to disagree. Feel free to leave in the comments down below what you are most excited for out of this set, because I would like to get a better grasp of what the player base as a whole looks for out of these sets, because I'm just one person, so I'm not a good sample size to take out of this, and I'm also a weirdo, so I might like weird things, but whatever. Let's not waste too much more time. Let's jump right into it. So there's a pretty cool set. I'm going to start with number 10. I've already sung the praises of this card already in separate videos before, but I still put it at number 10 because it's one singular card. It's kind of a hidden gem. I'm not sure how good it will be, but I think it's better than people have given it credit for, because I don't even think people have been reading this card over a second time. It's a common in the set. It's just getting looked over super easy. Quick overview of what this card does. You flip it over, you target a monster zone on the field. If your opponent special summons a monster to that zone, you bounce that monster and this card back to your hand. You can target the extra monster zone, I believe. So if you go first and summon a monster to your extra monster zone, you can then target your opponent's extra monster zone, so that if they try to go into the extra deck, they're going to at least have to bait this out first, and this just goes back to the hand. So it's not even like you're trading one for one. You're trading, their opponent trades one for none, almost, which is pretty cool in my opinion. Obviously not so great going second, but it could be a cool card in specific decks and stuff. So definitely just keep your eyes out for that. Whoa, that's not supposed to be there. Anyway, all right, moving next. I have Dragon Link, and now we've already seen Dragon Link. I'm not a huge combo deck player. I'm not a huge fan of those. I don't know why this picture's so small. Let's look at this guy. These two go hand in hand. They both kind of support the Dragon Link deck. This is kind of what a lot of people were waiting for, to make that deck finally playable, but we'll see how good it really is. I mean, we still have Nibiru is heavily played right now. Hand traps aren't crazy heavily played, but they are still being played, so we'll see. This is the most combo deck we will have in our format when it comes out. And I just like it because it shakes with the format a little bit. It's a new deck that hasn't really been quite there yet, finally jumping into the mix of things. So we'll see how good it is. I'm just excited to see something new, though. I'm definitely won't be playing it, though. Not my style. Next up, kind of the same thing, is the Salamangreat support. We got 3 new Salamangreat cards, Pyro Phoenix being the most important one, but we also get 2 more spell cards, I think quick play spells. As far as I know for the spells, I remember reading them, and I don't think they're amazing, and I'm no seasoned Salamangreat players, so keep that in mind as well. I'm no seasoned Salamangreat player, but they seem like they were okay. They didn't seem amazing. They didn't seem bad. So maybe they're possible one-ofs in the deck, because there is a decent amount of searchability in the deck. And then this guy, a lot of people are going to be searching this card out, playing 2 of them, him in the extra deck, because he is a straight-up board wipe, giving a whole nother level of offensive capabilities that Salamangreats didn't quite have as much before. So definitely a high-level removal that they have never really had before, all at once. A lot of players will definitely be looking at that, and I like it because it just changes Salamangreats a little bit. And I don't really love Salamangreats, not my style either, but I do like it when decks change. And I don't think it makes them so much better, but it makes them a little different, a little better, which I'm okay with. Next up is something a little more personal, is Arrow Mages. I have a friend that I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh with when we were kids. He's a very close friend to me now. He's always loved plants, like plants in real life, and so I've always tried to build in plant decks for when the very few times in our life we do ever duel. He does have a cool deck that he vibes with, and so I think Arrow Mages might be the deck for that. So I'm really excited to see the new, it's 5 or 6 cards in this set that actually boost that strategy, and they're not half bad. I mean, the deck with Aromatherapy Jasmine can set up some interesting boards that some decks can really struggle to get through. So really excited there. And they're just cool. I've always had an affinity towards the Arrow Mage. I think they're cool. Next up is Gladiator Beasts. I think a lot of people, even if they don't expect these new cards to really catapult Gladiator Beasts into the forefront of the meta, they're still cool. I mean, Gladiator Beasts was like one of the first ever period archetypes, like quote unquote archetypes in the game, and not to mention competitive ones. And it's really cool to see them getting support that makes them actually playable as a going first deck without any disruptions on you. They can set up some pretty nasty boards with multiple negations. They got some new trap cards that really boost them. They got some spell cards that extend them. A couple new monsters in the main deck. The new boss monster here that negates monster effects. And a link monster as well that's very, very good. So they kind of got support in every way they could. And while I don't think they're going to be meta defining, maybe we could see some regional tops with this deck. And I think people are just excited to make them playable. They can go toe to toe with some meta decks. I'm not saying you're going to have winning records with it, but they actually stand a chance now, which is just exciting. And they're cool. It's just whoever looked at Gladiator Beast designs and said they weren't dope as hell. No one. Next up, number 5 or 6? Number 5, yeah, because we're counting down. Number 5 on the list, we have Evil Eyes. We only have 2 new cards here. We have Gorgonia, the Empress of the Evil Eyed, and then we also have Gorgon, Evil Eye of Gorgon, sorry. Evil Eye of Gorgon is actually the second equipped spell, so one of the big problems with this archetype was it was based around Selene, their only equipped spell, and if you couldn't get to that, your deck didn't really do anything. So now we have a new equipped spell that adds consistency to the deck. It adds actually versatility and utility to the deck because it lets you kind of trade in any other Evil Eye cards you have for another one. So like that really helps with like getting rid of extra copies of stuff or just something that doesn't really work in a specific instance or something that really does. And that's really, really nice to see. Not to mention she is just a walking like beater that negates monster effects, which is not too shabby. So I'm really excited for the support here. I think it raises the ceiling of the deck. I think it raises the consistency of the deck. And I'm really curious to see if this deck will be able to get any actual tops going forward. Next up is Marine Cess. So when I talk about meta stuff, even though it's not really any stuff I'd be playing, like the real meta stuff I've already looked at. Dragon Link, Salamangreat, and this deck too, Marine Cess. But I think this is legitimately going to be a rogue strategy, like on that level of like Paleozoics and maybe, I don't know if it would be quite the level of Subterrors, but decks like that, those like tier 2 decks that can top a regional. Possibly we'll see them maybe try and make a grind to push on the YCS level, but definitely regional capable. And I'm really excited to just see a new deck be here and do new things. I think they're cool. I like their designs, and I like their whole thing with like Salamangreats. It's fire versus water. But yeah, I'm excited to see how good they can actually be. I don't love the towers aspect. Like that's kind of how you have to play the deck right now. I'd like to see the deck be able to play a little more versatile. Play in a more versatile way. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. But until then, I still think it's a cool deck, and I look forward to seeing something new splash into our meta. And now for the only like solo card other than Boomplane on this list is IP Masquerena, because I think a lot of people slept on this card. I slept on this card a little bit, but actually not too much. I still could tell this card is pretty good, but it's going crazy in the OCG apparently. Everybody and their mother's playing it because it lets you quick effect link into either a boss monster or something like a Nightmare Phoenix or a Nightmare Unicorn and just spin a card on your opponent's turn, which is pretty good. If you cannot make an actual disruption with like your thing, you can make a generic disruption out of this, which I like. I think it's really cool. And the other like utilities there are is like you can go straight into an Avermax. This girl and like another Link 2 go straight into an Avermax on your opponent's turn. He can be an insane problem for your opponent to try and deal with. I just think there's a ton of utility here that people kind of sleep on, and we'll see where this leads. We'll see if it's actually as big here as it is in the OCG. But I'm excited. I'm definitely going to pick up my copy or copies. I'm not sure how many I'm going to get. Number 2, we've got Tenyi support here. So last set we got all the Tenyi cards. They didn't really do much right out the gate, and in fact they didn't really do anything at all except for Vashuda being splashed in Orcus builds. But other than that, nothing really. But now we finally have some cards that help round out the deck to maybe be able to do something by itself. So we've got a new monster. This guy, all the Tenyi's of effects in grave, so he can banish himself from grave to special any Tenyi straight from the deck, which is very good utility-wise, very good turbo-wise. Very, very good card for the deck. Huge booty, 2600 defense. Very nice, very helpful, very very nice consistency addition to the 10e deck, as well as we're getting a synchro monster that when an opponent activates a monster effect, you can banish it in response, which is not the best. It doesn't negate the effect, but it does just straight up banish a monster, which can be very crucial. And then he also has like battle phase shenanigans. If he kills something, he like gains that monster's attack, and then it gets to attack another monster. Not too shabby. Already starts at 3,000. And then we're getting a new Link 3 outside of Berserker. This is a guy where he says like equal to the number of normal or non-effect monsters in your graveyard or field, you can just like destroy that many monsters your opponent controls. So like that guy has the ceiling of possibly being able to just like pop 4 monsters your opponent controls all at once. So easily that can get pretty insane, as you can tell. So nice removal, nice consistency, nice interruption. So really like some cards that really help the deck become possibly a real deck. I don't think it'll be tier 1 by any means, but I think it could easily be a tier 2 rogue strategy that you see pop up here on the regional, circuit. And I look forward to seeing where this deck goes from here. Well, for number 1, I think it's pretty obvious where we are now in the list and what we haven't seen yet. That's the biggest story of like the whole thing. It's Unchained. And I don't want to be a basic bitch, but god damn it, I'm really excited for this strategy. As much as I hate being a basic bitch, like I feel like, I don't know, I feel like everybody and their mother wants this, and I know this list isn't the most spicy, like, oh, crazy different stuff on this list that he wants to see out of this set or that he's excited for, but I can't help it. This archetype's super awesome. You get to just link away with your opponent's stuff. You have the capability of just popping like 2-3 cards in one turn on your opponent's side of the field. Their boss monster is awesome. The artwork is phenomenal. The only downside about this entire archetype is it's going to be expensive as fuck. Just because we've got 4 secret rare slots going just to this archetype, and I think like 2 ultra rares too. Oof, like that's going to be tough, but if you can get the cards, I think it'll be a really fun deck to play, a really cool deck to play. I'm still really excited to see what it does and go a little more in depth with the deck as a whole, but I'll get there when I get there. But that's pretty much it. I mean, there's really not much to say. It's a really cool archetype. It's new. I think it can be a tier 2 deck right out the gate, which is really exciting. And so we'll see, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video, as always. Like I said at the beginning, let me know what you are most excited about in this new set that we're getting officially in the next 6 days. And I'll keep you what am I saying? I'll keep you informed for next set. I'm probably gonna, if this, I have fun doing these. I like talking about the stuff that I am more personally excited to talk about. So once we get to Ignition Assault a little closer, I can make another video there. But let me know what you thought of this video. Let me know if you like these ones, hearing about my personal wish list for each set, or if you'd rather have me focus just more on the generic stuff as we go, like what's good in the set, what's not good in the set for you guys, not as much for me. I'm down either way. I just enjoy making these videos, and think it might be cool for you guys to get an insight on what me personally as a duelist am looking forward to out of each individual set. But let me know, give me some feedback, and thank you so much for watching, guys. If you haven't subscribed yet to the channel, go ahead and do so now. We just cracked 500. We're closing in on 600. I'm really excited to get to 1,000. I would love to do some community post stuff. I think I could really make good use of that, and I definitely want to try some new stuff in the future. So thank you so much, guys. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.